What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another one.
I'm sorry. What happened, buddy?
I seen you smiling and it made me laugh. Another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast. This is all staying in episode 74. Let's fucking go. This one. Everyone that's watching this, everyone knows what they're fucking tuning in for. Nothing. Nothing and bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last week was bad enough, and the UFC said, hey, let's double down on bad Apex events, and they went even worse than the last week.
Which is crazy because we were looking at it like, oh, you know, maybe the matchups will cause for better fights. Like, had a little bit of hope for it. You can't have hope for these cards. You just get disappointed.
Yeah. Not great, not good, not even that much fun at all. We had some finishes, and not even all the finishes were, like, just fun with it. We'll get to all of it. Before all that, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. It helps out. But UFC, Vegas 86.
Jack Hermansson versus Joe Pyfer.
Yeah. Going into it, it's like, obviously, big step up for Joe. Best competition that he, like, facing by far.
Dude had 3 fights at the UFC. This was his 4th fight, ranked number 11.
Yep.
Someone who, this was his 17th fight in the UFC.
Exactly.
Huge experience gap.
Yeah. And, yeah, so, Jack, he gets the unanimous decision win. Goes 5 rounds over Joe. And I guess what's just so hard is that, like, round 1, Joe was just looking so good. Like, all of the things that I thought would give, like, Jack would be able to give him a problem with, he's checking the leg kicks, he's moving good, he's catching them, trying to, like, you know, just jab in and out.
He was working the body good, like...
Yeah, landing his own leg kicks, like, it was solid. And then, even just round 2, was doing pretty good work, wasn't kicking the legs as much, started to drop off a little bit, just, you know, starting to, like, just load up a little bit more on shots. Still easily won that round, but definitely towards, like, the back end of it, you've seen Jack started to, like, find the rhythm, find the timing, start to work his way in.
Build. Exactly. He started building in the end of the second round.
And then 3 through 5, like, Joe just... Like, he didn't, like, get so gassed where, like, he couldn't, like, do shit, you know what I mean? Or, like, he wasn't, like, throwing or whatever. Like, through 3 and 4, he kept up with, like, basically the same amount of punches that he was throwing. But just so much more labored, so loading up on everything way more, and was just not connecting the same that he was through, like, the first 2 rounds.
I was going to say, you could see the difference in him trying to throw those punches, you know what I mean? Like, you could see him, like you said, just load up, get ready, throw them, and then kind of, like... okay, relax for a second, like...
Yeah.
And then it was, I forget what round it was. I want to say it was round 4, possibly 5, but Joe went to go throw a kick to the body, and there was nothing behind that. Like, that's when you knew, like, he was just fucking done, because it's like, you know, people just, like, kind of toss little kicks out here like that, but you're not going to throw a shot to the body, especially at a grappler, unless you were really trying to kick him, you know what I mean? But there was nothing there. It was just sad at that point, like damn, bro, like, you're breaking.
Labored
I was about to say, bro went for a single leg takedown. I think it was in the 3rd round. I think it was 3rd round. And, you know, he has the single leg. Hermansson, 1 foot, starts throwing uppercuts onto his head, and then throws a jump knee and lands back on his foot and continues to throw uppercuts. How do you not get a single leg when a man is in the air?
Yeah, the dude, like, he just did not have, the energy at all. Like, rounds 3 and 4 were the only times Joe was, like, going for takedowns, went 0 for 3 in both rounds, like, just... Jack went for a takedown in the 2nd round, wasn't really much on it, just easily got stuffed. But then the 5th round, though, going into the 5th, clearly it's 2-2 apiece, you know, like, whoever wants that fight, they got to take the 5th round. And Jack just starting out, just putting the pressure on Joe, getting him backed up on the cage, putting good shots in. And I had the thought in my head as I'm watching, I'm just like, Joe just has to go forward and just start landing. So, you know, he just has to put that pressure on Jack, get him backing up. He starts walking forward into him as soon as they get about, like, halfway, like, to, like, the center of the octagon. Fucking just beautiful timing. Jack just ducks under, double leg, gets him right down on his ass, rides the rest of the round on top, got 3 minutes of control time. Like, just easy work from Jack in that, like, last 15 minutes of the fight.
Yeah, it was like on top of, Joe obviously slowing down from each round, just like looking a bit more tired each round. After he took that one punch to the eye that, like he was complaining that like he thought it was an eye poke and he couldn't see it first. And then he just started getting his leg torn up. It was like the combination of those plus like the lack of cardio for it. It was a real turning point in the fight.
No, yeah, and that's kind of something Derek Lewis has done a lot, where he's gotten jabbed and then he's like complaining. It's like, no, that was a punch, and it's like I could see like because when Jack throws a jab, he doesn't turn over with it. He tends to throw it more straight. So I could see maybe he thought it was like because it might have been like the thumb that caught him or whatever, and it's like, thinking it was an eye poke, and it's like, no, it was still a punch.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not like he was so, like, caught up on it, like, he kept complaining, but it was just, like, clearly, like, affecting his vision and, like, bothering him, you know what I mean?
And I'm sure just, like, I don't know, even with, like, the fucking gloves, too, you know what I mean? Depending on where it lands, like, if, like, however far, like, on the finger it goes, like, that bit, like, that, just, like, the end of the glove just touching the eye, like, as he punches, you know what I mean? Like, can just feel like, I got, like, just poked in the eye real quick.
No, exactly.
Shit happens, but it's like, you gotta, like, especially when something like that happens and the ref's just like, nah, it's good. You, like, the worst thing you could ever do is just stay caught up on that. And, like, there are times where you see fighters, like, get too caught up. They're trying to talk to the ref and stuff, and it just fucks them over. But, like, like you said, Joe didn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, it was just him obviously affected by it, Yeah,
he had the quick play, and then ref saying it was punch, keep going.
He just kept going.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it was just obviously a big step up in competition. It just sucks that, they clearly gave this fight night main event to Joe as like the spotlight to move up. So sucks that he wasn't able to shine through, but first loss in the UFC to a ranked opponent, it's fine. He'll bounce back.
Yeah. And
it should definitely bounce back.
And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's just hard too, because it's like, really, Jack mainly won that fight just off the leg kicks and like some good jabs. Like that was like a majority of what Jack was doing throughout like the first 22 minutes before he got the takedown, and like, and I feel like that's just why it's just also just frustrating and just sucks, and just expecting just a better performance for Joe, and just seeing like just after 10 minutes to just kind of start to fall apart like that, that was just definitely rough to see.
I mean, that's the thing with middleweight. Like we were discussing it last time when we were watching the card. Izzy ran the middleweight division off of a leg kick. Like, it just
and feints
division.
Yes,
feints and leg kick. Like, so what's so much different than a jab and leg kick?
Izzy and from doofy ass Jack. Maybe he really was just struggling like Chris. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Honestly,
just goofy.
Like. Just a fucking, like, a slick vet, or not, like, slick, but just, like, a wily vet. You know
it's like I said, his 17th fight in the UFC compared to the 4th fight for Joe, like...
Exactly.
No, exactly.
Crafty's a good word.
Dude's fought fucking Cannonier, fucking Deleeds, you know what I mean? Jacare, fucking so many good top guys in that division.
Oh,
Strickland, Curtis, like, I
was about to say, He's basically fought all of the middleweights at Extreme Couture.
Yeah. But so solid win for Jack to stay in the top 15, secure that spot that he had at number 11 heading into it. Afterwards, he calls for Nasruddin Imavov because he just won weekend prior. It makes all the sense in the world. You think they put that as another Apex main event?
Probably.
I hope not. They might.
They probably will.
I mean, depending on when they go to France, they might have it on the undercard for the France.
They're not going until September, probably. They're probably going to keep on like that same timeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. If it was earlier, maybe they'd put that on like even then September. No, that's too long away. That's 7 months. But no, probably gonna be. It could be a main event. I don't want it to be, but
it shouldn't be. But we'll see what they do with that. For Joe, probably should just get another couple fights outside of the top 15. That would just probably be the best for him. I can't think of any like all right middleweights, like outside the top 15 off the top of my head, that would probably be like a good matchup for him.
It's funny because I was kind of going through it, and there's not many from where he is to like 50.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, like we'll get to it. Like we can just kind of, because this was just definitely a middleweight showcase of the main card. You could kind of say just a bunch of middleweight fights. What you think? Like Brad Tavares coming off of a loss like on this card to Robocop. Armen Petrosian, like what I mean, matching up with someone just kind of, because I mean shit, like wasn't Armen fucking 3-0 heading into this fight? Okay, sorry, he had one loss in the UFC prior.
I was pretty sure he had one.
Armen Petrosian probably would be a good fight. That would be a good one for both of them, honestly, because it's like Armen continuously struggling with grapplers. His 2 losses now in the UFC to Kaio and now Rodolfo.
Yes.
Joe, he has the sub, like he has like the ability to take people down, but he's really a striker, so like we might actually get a good fight out of that.
Yeah.
It would suck for one of them to like, keep up the streak, but I do, that probably would be good.
I was about to say, maybe they can pause. Who has
a boost?
Pyfer fought, not a boost. A boost is getting knocked out by a shower bullet. That's the game plan right
now. What?
I'm fine with that. That's a good fight. But yeah, I mean, with bringing it up, 185, Gregory Rodriguez, Robocop fighting Brad Tavares. That there was a few moments where Robocop was getting touched up a little bit early.
He's chinny. He's chinny for sure.
But not tonight. The chin held up. It was all good. This fucking goddamn amazing jiu-jitsu guy coming into MMA, and he's just like, I just want to knock people out.
The 50-year-old, 31-year-old.
Yeah, fucking has the most knockout wins in the middleweight division since 2020 with 5 now, so that's a pretty cool stat for him. Consistently fucking people up, and to finish Brad like that wasn't the most spectacular stoppage, just beating Brad up, had him up on the cage cover, and then the ref came in. It was like, it was.
Yeah, but I mean, he was loading up and just boom, boom on the side of the cage.
It was just 1-2s for fucking 10 punches in a row that he just blasted Brad.
And then he threw 10 twos in a row. He just kept throwing a straight, and just oh my god.
But yeah. So that was a really nice win for Robocop there, and then opening up the main card, Rodolfo Vieira, Armen Petrosian. It, as we said, classic striker versus grappler matchup going into it. Was Armen going to be able to stop the takedowns, keep it on the feet, and beat up Vieira, or is Vieira going to get it down and get the sub? It was the latter, because Vieira just easily got him down. But it was just funny. I'm watching the fights, and he was in, I'm pretty sure, half guard, full guard, I don't remember. Looked down, talking during the stream, whatever, and I looked back up, and he was just in full mount, and I was like, oh, that was real quick. And then, wrapped up the arm triangle, done in the first round. Yeah. Beautiful win for the jiu-jitsu legend.
I was about to say, Petrosian tried to contest the call, but it's after the replay, it's no, that was a tap. Did this man just try to do those, Brazilian tap where they go to do it but don't actually?
Nah, but he tapped twice before the hesitant of the third one. It's that's a tap, bro.
Exactly. That was it was a 100%. Real soft, quick 2, but it was that. You've seen, that's what he was doing.
He was almost out.
Yeah. So exactly. He tried to say something about it, but there ain't no controversy with that.
What I was saying is, I thought he was trying to attempt to get Rodolfo to loosen up, and then he could try something by pretending to, you know what I mean?
Good old Henry Fajeda and Fabricio Verdum PFL.
Yes, exactly. But then also going back to Gregory Rodriguez, he just tied Nate Marquardt for the 8th most KO TKO wins in the middleweight division, just overall.
Very nice.
I mean, he's in the top 10. He's only 31. He has a lot of fucking power. He's 6-2 in the UFC, and only one of those coming. Oh no, 2 of them are coming. Oh yeah, okay. That was grappling. One of them by decision. So.
And tied for first place is 3 people with 8 KO TKO wins, and Anderson Silva, Uriah Hall, and Thiago Santos.
You said at 8.
at 8. That's number 1.
Oh yeah,
he
3
could
more
get
to
that.
tie it.
Oh yeah, he got that easy.
3 more. No, 3 more to surpass.
Oh, he's at 6.
Yeah, he's at 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He will beat that easily.
Yeah. Yeah. 31 years old. He's gone 5 in the fucking past 4 years. Like, easy money.
And I'm pretty sure it was like his debut or like his second fight that. Yeah, no, it was his debut that went to a decision.
Okay.
And then every fight since then, he has knocked people out or he lost the one decision. But yeah.
Yes. So that'll be easy money for him. Hell yeah, that's also, fucking awesome.
Speaking of going back to that fight as well, Brad Tavares tying the most amount of fights in the division with Michael Bisping.
Oh yeah. Yep, 24, right?
Yep, 24.
Yeah, man, been around forever. Just fucking vet. There was another middleweight fight on this card. Absolute terrible dog shit. Ihor Potieria versus Robert Bryczek. I don't care to see either of them fight.
I can't believe that he moved down on short notice and only missed weight by, what was it, like 2 pounds?
I think pound and a
half. Pound and a half. Yeah, pound and a half. Like, that's incredible. 205 or moving down to 185. Like,
I mean, good for him on that, I guess.
I was about to say, he said he had to lose 32 pounds on 6 days' notice, which is insane.
That's fucked up.
And Robert Bryczek still lost to him?
Yeah.
To be fair, Robert Bryczek almost
that's why I was bringing
got
it
disqualified. This man kept fouling.
Yeah, there were
there were too many fouls.
After that, rounds like 2 and 3, how are you so bad that Ihor Potieria believes he can style on you? Yeah, because he was doing that. He was showboating. It's like, oh, you're that bad.
It is what it is. So yeah, that's all the fucking middleweight bullshit on the main card. Co-main event though, we had a 145-pound fight. Andre Fili taking this fight on short notice, filling in for Lerone Murphy against Dan Ige, and I thought that Dan might be able to, like, at some point find like a big shot and be able to, like, you know, put him down, like get a TKO or something. It took barely over half of the first round and he fucking floored Andre Fili. Fucking stepped over him with that one follow-up shot. Wasn't even needed, but just, that was nasty.
Yeah.
50K Ige gets himself another 50K. Good for him, man.
Yeah. It was brutal. Like, that knockout was fucking brutal.
It's just, damn. When they're that fast, there's not much to say, but yeah, there's just a nasty knockout. Good for you, Ige.
I mean, I do, like, you know, we were kind of talking about it before. I really do like your idea of just kind of rebooking him versus Lerone Murphy. I don't really think that's too bad of an idea.
No.
If anything, if they weren't going to go back to that and they wanted to, like, move him up or something, him versus Giga Chikadze, I don't really know where Giga's at, but I feel like fucking Dan Giga is a pretty fun fight.
He's at number 9. Ige's probably going to stay at 13.
Probably the least likely to happen, but
Giga's last fight was Alex Caceres. So it's like, who's right now at the bottom of the division at 15.
And that was a pretty, like, good fight back and forth, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he fucking smashed through him, like...
No, exactly. So I think that's probably a decent little fight to do. Either that. I didn't mind the idea of Ige fighting Caceres, since he was going to fight Lerone Murphy anyway. Like, it's still the same area of the division anyway, so...
Exactly. Anyone in that
back 3 of those fights sounds fine to me.
The second fight up on the main card, 155 pounds. Michael Johnson was back against Darius Flowers. This wasn't a great fight either. A very consistent theme of this card. Johnson basically beat him with mainly just straights to the body.
Straights to the body and takedowns.
Yeah. But it just...
It was a bad performance from Darius Flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Johnson being 37, Darius being 29. He just should have been able to do more and been able to deal with takedowns and shots to the body, because like you said, that's really just what it was. Like, getting RNC'd by Jake Matthews in your debut, okay, sure. But, like,
Yeah,
Let's
drops
not say
down
that's
from
short notice
170 to
too.
55.
To lose this bad of a decision to him, like, he just didn't have anything for Michael Johnson. That was the saddest part. So, like, either 155 isn't for him, or he's just really not that great.
He's just not that great. That's just but yeah, and
you know.
yeah. Michael Johnson, he's saying that he still got hopes for being a champion. You know,
What?
he's got them championship hopes still.
Sir, you need to have hopes that you're going to go 50-50 in the UFC by the time you retire.
He's one step closer. He's 14 and 15 now.
All I'm gonna say is that if anyone could break the stat other than Volk, it's Michael Johnson.
I don't think so.
You're not wrong.
Short notice opportunity against Islam, he could land a big left hand and knock him out. He's been knocked out before. He's knocked out Dustin.
I was about to say,
Beat
knocked out
Prime
Dustin.
Tony.
Knocked out Gleason T-Bow.
But yeah, no, it ain't happening. He'll probably won't get a top 15. Or if he does, he'll get fucked up.
I was about to say, he shouldn't get a top 15.
Yeah,
after
no, not after this. No.
Anyway,
But yeah,
but
That's
trying to think, like,
that's the main
where
card.
he goes.
Who cares?
He gets the loser of Jim Miller, Bobby Green. How about that?
Sure.
Fuck it, give him Vince Pichel.
Sure. But
Old
yeah,
man's fight.
main card from the Apex, not great at all. The prelims was not much better overall. Prelim main event, Carlos Prates versus Trevin Giles. Carlos gets the second round knockout. It was a clean shot, good for him. But up until then, it was just so much inactivity, just looking for the big clean shot. He had some good knees to the body, some good leg kicks. You know, like, you could clearly tell that, like, his striking technique, like, he is talented, you know, but nowhere near enough. Easily got outworked in round one by Trevin Giles. Just jabs and leg kicks mainly, just doing real good. And then just catches him with that left hand. Second round, puts Trevin Giles out, gets a $50K bonus for it.
Good for him, but unless he can keep catching those shots, he's probably going to get outworked in a lot of these fights.
Yeah,
it just wasn't very
especially,
promising.
Like, oh man, there are a lot of great grapplers at 170 as well.
And that's honestly where my brain exactly went to. It's like, bro, you're at 170 and you struggle from inactivity. Like, that's fucking rough, man.
Yeah.
You are not gonna be able to do that shit like at the higher level at all.
You're not in a great division for it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was his UFC debut, 1-0 now. He fought at LFA, went 2-0, went 2-1 in one championship. Not too bad. Fought all over the place, but yeah, just he's got to pick that up, or he's gonna get fucked up by some of these guys.
Hopefully it was just maybe like one of those nights where it was just off night. He just couldn't find the rhythm. Who knows? Like,
you know, UFC debut, maybe just the nerves.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Trevin Giles is a vet, like, in there, fought a lot of good guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's fought Dricus, he's fought a couple good guys. Like, it should just be
James
one of
Krause.
those, like, James Krause. But yeah, no,
Michael
it's one of those
Morales.
things where it's like, you gotta at least give fighters two. Their debut can sometimes be rough. And then the second fight, it's like, okay, they've already gone through the nerves. This should be where we should see what.
Well, you
they
know, he was the
actually are,
first
you know?
person to beat Roman Dolidze, so it'd be like that. I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go, Prates.
Going on down the prelims, though, Loma Lukbumi fought Bruno Brasil on this card. We were pretty hyped going into it for Loma. Not a great fight at all, but just a decent performance from Loma. She looked good.
Yeah.
It was I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it was one of those things. Like, for me, I was excited for the fight because I was excited to see Loma. But I understand if you're not a fan of either of them, nobody gives a shit about this fight. Yeah. But Bruno is like 5 inches taller than her. Yeah, because I know she's 5'6" to 5'1". I just didn't know the reach. Okay, 65.5. So she has a 4.5 inch reach advantage on her. Like, Definitely the tallest and longest person that Loma's fought, and because I like Loma, like I was like, oh, how is she gonna deal with the reach and the height on this? And
easily,
bro, like she landed like your average clip at like 51% accuracy. A lot of it was her really just trying to find her range, but the fact that Bruna had that height and reach advantage and couldn't do shit to her was crazy. Because of that, yeah, it wasn't an exciting fight, but to see Loma being able to go in and out, get her shots, just easily win, I was real happy for her. Like, it's just a good look, you know what I mean? She's fucking real small in there, but doing the damn thing. She's now 6-2 in the UFC. Her only losses to Loopy and Angie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
after 15 minutes, fucking Bruna's significant strikes landed were 28 and fucking less than 2 significant strikes a minute. Not good.
I was about to say, and not only that, she got outstruck a distance too.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, it's like, how you gonna get, like, out-kicked, out-punched, everything, out at range when you're the much taller, longer fighter? Like, I know fucking Loma's got the Muay Thai background, so, like, you know, obviously that helps, but it's like, bro, that's so crazy.
No, it really is, especially because what Bruna has is, like, some power, you know what I mean? She got the head kick on the Contender Series, she was fighting in other spots, like, just knocking people out. She got a few guillotine chokes, but you know what I mean? Like, that's clearly her thing, is just being able to get people with her striking. So the fact that, yeah, she didn't have shit for her, let's go Loma.
Yeah. But yeah, prelims, they were prelimin for the next couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Griffin versus Wells was not the good fight that we thought it could have been.
I thought it could have been a good fight. Yeah, it was not.
And it was just frustrating because, like, they would have moments of, like, swinging crazy, and it's like, damn, this could have been a good fight, but then it just wasn't.
Yes.
It just...
They're almost 40. They did what they could do. It was a better performance than some of these other fucking guys. So.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
We had a boring 155 bout. How you get that? Come on.
Someone that's almost
both
40.
guys debuting.
No, but I'm saying between the fucking two guys making their debut.
I thought you were talking about Johnson.
No,
I forgot about them.
Yeah. Balaji Oki and Timothy making their debut, both young guys, and had a boring fight at 155.
Yeah. That wasn't good.
It was not.
Bogdan Guskov came back after his loss to Volkan Ustamir on short notice. Beat Zach Poga. Good for him, I guess. That was nice.
I was about to say, that was a nice KO. That was brutal.
Yelled in his face afterwards and said that winning in the UFC is better than sex, so dude was very happy after that win.
I did not hear that.
I mean, the knockout was kind of crazy because it's like... I don't know. I feel like I've never seen anyone necessarily go down like that. It was so weird because it was like Zach got hit once, dropped a level, got hit again, dropped another level, hit him again, dropped to the ground. Like it was just like
teeing off as he just slowly going.
Yeah, just like his knees just slowly losing.
The only thing that I can compare it to is T Wood knocking out Josh Koscheck. He hits him with a right hand. He goes like down, but like he doesn't actually go down. He tries to get up and just a clean 1-2 and just knocks him out cold.
Yeah, that was awesome for him. Get into the winning column in the UFC. First two fights on the prelims though, they're actually pretty damn good.
Let's start with the good one.
Yeah, Hyder Amil versus Fernie Garcia. This was a mismatch, if you could say. Someone that was undefeated coming into the UFC versus someone that was 0-3 in the UFC. Fernie trying out a new weight class in this one, up at 145, but
didn't help him out.
Not even a little bit. He had one moment where Hyder was putting it on him, and he landed a good counter shot that did stumble him back. And it like definitely made it like exciting. Like, oh shit, is he gonna have a comeback? But nah.
Yeah, but most of that like. Fernie is definitely one of them guys that's too tough for his own good.
Yeah.
That's why his 0-3 were all decisions. Like, he got a standing TKO here, and it's one that no one could argue, even though he was moving forward when it got stopped, because he was straight up zombieing through everything. He was so rocked, so hurt, and just wouldn't go down. Like, he just would not go down. He just kept pushing forward, but... When you are the second fight on a prelims of an Apex card like this fucking shit, there's no way he's making enough money to keep taking a beating like that. Like, the ref did exactly what he should have. He stopped it perfectly. Like, it was good while it lasted. Hyder definitely put a beating on him. Like,
so he's probably going to get cut, but honestly, for his own good, because he is just not at this level at all. And like you said, too tough for his own good, so just... just one of those things. And then the main card, or the prelim opener, Daniel Marcos versus Aoriqileng. It sucked. Round one, beautiful.
So good.
So fucking
amazing. Good. Back and forth, action-packed. Daniel Marcos was looking amazing in this fight. Round two, looking good again. And then the foul started happening. There was like 4 or 5 back-to-back. Like,
pretty sure it started with Aoriqileng poking Daniel Marcos in the eye. Yes. And then Marcos getting a nut shot on Aoriqileng.
Yes.
And then Aoriqileng getting a nut shot on Marcos.
Yes.
And then Marcos getting another nut shot on Aoriqileng. Like, all in like a fucking 20-second span of the actual fight time. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the fight clock, because obviously they took breaks in between, but it was after that. Because am I right? Was it the 3 nut shots, 1 eye poke?
I think so.
Or was
I wasn't sure if it was.
It was.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was 3 fouls and it ended, but all I know is that it ended on fucking Aoriqileng. That's how many fouls there was. It was hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
But like, it ended on Aoriqileng, and I don't know, he just wasn't able to fight. I feel like the commentators were talking about how it's hard when you take too much time and then like it's hard to get back in there. And he was getting beat up. Like, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't want to go back in there at that point.
Well,
like,
not only that, remember, he was going for like a jump knee or something.
Yeah.
And Daniel Marcos was throwing a front kick to the body.
Yeah.
Like, that.
Yeah, true.
That's hard to come back from.
Right into it. Like,
exactly. So
yeah, maybe I'm just being harsh, but either way, it was just like fucked up. It was just sucked after such a good fight, and then I felt so bad for Marcos because it's like he's 15-0, you know, an undefeated guy, and it's like while he didn't take the loss, which I'm glad that he didn't, because like you just said, Aoriqileng jumped into that nut shot. There was no intention behind that.
Yeah.
It just sucks that happened, you know?
Yeah, it's like, because even DC said it on the commentary, like, if, like, as they were waiting it out and he was taking his time, he's like, if it goes to a no contest, that's a win for Aoriqileng. Like, he would, like, towards, like, the bit of the second round that we have, like, he was getting fucked up. He probably could have gotten finished in the third. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
without all the fouls, he could have got finished in the second.
But, so it's just, like, Marcos kind of got robbed of that win, and then, Aoriqileng kind of getting gifted with that a little bit, not taking another L on his record. But
not only that,
shitty.
Like, I think it was either Daniel Cormier or Dominic Cruz was like, after it got called, it was like, this sucks for Marcos. He was in there painting a masterpiece, and someone just came up and like threw paint on the canvas.
Yeah.
You know?
And just a very solid prospect coming out of Peru. I feel like he can definitely do some good things at 135, honestly. Because Pineda's from Peru, right? I think that's what it is. But other than him, I feel like he could be like the next. But that's the 14 fight card from the UFC Apex. Not great at all.
Nope.
Only thing left to get into is Tapology for the night. It's just funny. It's like, I don't know, most nights we're usually just up on it, talking about it, whatever. It was like, as we're watching it, like we were saying, that felt like a bad Cage Warriors event that we were struggling to like just watch. Like, just watch. I'm just like couple fights away from the main event. I'm just like, stop watching, like, just stop streaming. Like, I don't even care anymore, man. Like, this shit was fucking rough.
Yeah.
But at the end of it all, I got first place. Ginger takes second. Kate comes in third this week. I definitely, like, I don't know. As I was doing Tapology, it was just like, fuck this. Like, as I'm doing it, each pick just felt worse and worse as I was getting through it. Had no confidence in barely anything. So, that's
what happens when you get these shit cards.
I know. Like,
just
doesn't even fucking feel like anything to get a win this week. It was such a nothing week. Like,
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't even care that I lost. It is what it fucking is. Like, fuck this week.
I mean, like, out of the 14 fights, I got 8 right, 2 decisions, 2 perfects, 2 semis. So actually pretty fucking well-rounded on that one, honestly. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I got 8 right, 1 decision, 1 perfect, 2 semis.
Yeah, I got 7 right, 1 decision, 1 perfect, 2 semis. I don't even know what they were on.
I know, right? Like, I couldn't tell you.
I know I got the Carlos Pratt perfect on that. I got the Johnson decision. Loma Luke Boomy decision. That one was pretty easy. And then Guskov Bogdon KO round 1.
That was the perfect I got.
That was the only perfect I got too. Yeah.
Like some of them were, that one fucking Loma decision. Those were the ones I felt pretty confident in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything else though, nah. We all had fucking Pyfer round 2 KO. You know what I mean? And just fucking that felt pretty good and just way off on that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I got 2 fights right on the main card. Prelims carried my ass this week.
I got 3, so it's fucking not great at all. But next week, it's a pay-per-view time. 298.
Finally.
Yeah.
I feel like extra excited for this, and this isn't even the best out of the ones coming up. Like, it's great, but it's not the best.
Mm-hmm.
But just because of the way that they've done these fucking Apex cards and the fight nights and everything, and the way they've stacked out the pay-per-views, like, I'm so excited for a great night of fights.
Yeah, like we've been saying it, the pay-per-views are just so motherfucking stacked that it's like those like the shitty cards in between. Because like we're just talking about like even fucking Mexico City, it's like you've really only got good names in the main and co-main event. In the co-main, it's a fucking rematch between Yair and Brian Ortega. It's like like you got a lot of good.
The main event's a rematch between Moreno and Royval.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. At least it's like if Brian Ortega was the reasoning.
Okay.
Like
I thought you
But it, like there just really isn't a lot of names or anything on that, and
like some good matchups, but no big names.
But like you said, with like just these first 4 pay-per-views of like the calendar year, like January was the worst of them all. This one coming up next week, like that's gonna be the next one. 299 is fucking there, and then. I mean, we still gotta wait for the shit on 300, but it's like from top to bottom that's gonna be like the best UFC card ever. So
right, because I know like everyone, including us, have been complaining about the fact of like what's the main event, what do we got? But realistically, without the main events like announced yet, we got a stacked card.
Yeah,
you can't complain. So if they're still like cooking something up, like. Whatever, we just got to be patient. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna keep talking shit, but we got to be patient. You know what I mean? Like,
and because that's the thing too. It's like, it's hard when you got Dana being just hyping it up and just saying all this shit. But it's like that's when it's like you take a step back from all the hype and everything like that. Like any fucking UFC pay-per-view in the history of UFC pay-per-views, like when are you getting fucking a top 10 guy and versus an unranked guy, both of them former champs, as the early fucking prelim opener? You know what I mean? Like it, like, and then just all the it's fucking insane. Any normal pay per view, Kayla Harrison making her UFC debut, that's on the pay per view. You know what I mean? Like that shit's on the prelims. Fucking depending if we get 2 title fights, motherfucking Yuri's not even gonna be on the pay per view. He's gonna be on the prelims. Like I was gonna say, dude,
Aljo Cater on the fucking prelims, like
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But 298, Folk Taporia, let's fucking go. We will see you in the preview for that card. Peace out, everyone.